There's a strange pattern I've noticed in almost everyone I meet. We dream of big things: starting a business, writing a book, getting fit, learning a new skill. We can see that dream clearly in our minds, almost like it's already real. But then, nothing happens. Every day we think, tomorrow I'll start. Tomorrow comes, and we find another reason to wait. The scariest part? We're not lazy. We read books about success, listen to motivational podcasts, follow productivity gurus, and plan endlessly. But when it's time to actually take that first real step, something inside freezes. Our brain suddenly finds something else, anything else to do. Sound familiar? Part 1. The truth about why you're stuck. Most people believe procrastination comes from laziness or lack of discipline, but that's not the truth. Procrastination is a defense mechanism. It's your brain trying to protect you. See, when a goal feels too big or too far away, your mind labels it as danger. It's the same instinct that kept our ancestors from running toward a lion. Your brain doesn't understand writing a book or starting a company. It just feels the weight of uncertainty, pressure, and fear of failure, and it pushes you to avoid it. That's why you can scroll for hours, yet feel anxious doing the thing that might actually change your life. It's not because you don't care, it's because you care too much. Big dreams overwhelm the nervous system, and so we shut down before we even begin. But here's the beautiful part. Your brain isn't your enemy. It's just waiting for a safer signal to begin. You don't need to be more motivated or more disciplined. You just need to make starting feel safe. And that's what separates the 99% who freeze from the 1% who move. Part 2. The moment of change. A few years ago, I met someone named Noah. He was bright, ambitious, full of ideas, but always stuck in the same loop. Every night, he'd plan a perfect day for tomorrow. Wake up early, run 3 miles, write for 2 hours, learn a new skill. But by 10 a.m., he was watching videos about how to be more productive. One day, after another wasted afternoon, he called his uncle, a retired teacher. "Uncle," he said, "I think something's wrong with me. I plan everything, but I can't make myself start. Maybe I'm just lazy." The old man laughed softly. "Noah," he said, "you're not lazy. You're overwhelmed. You're standing in front of a locked door, pushing it with your shoulder, when all you need to do is turn the handle." The next morning, his uncle gave him an odd challenge. Don't work for an hour. Don't even try for 10 minutes. Just do 2 minutes. 2 minutes of anything that moves you toward your dream. Noah didn't believe it would help, but he tried anyway. Day 1, he opened his laptop, wrote 1 line. 2 minutes. Done. Day 2, another 2 minutes. Day 3, he didn't stop after 2 minutes. He kept going for 30. It was so small, so easy that his brain didn't fight back. And within a week, that 2 minutes turned into a daily habit. 6 months later, Noah had written an entire book draft. Not because of motivation, not because of pressure, but because of tiny consistency. Part 3. How the 1% think differently. The secret that 99% of people miss is this. Success doesn't come from doing more. It comes from starting smaller. Most people believe they need to be perfect before they begin. They wait for inspiration, for the right time for the perfect plan. But the right time never comes. The plan never feels ready. And the longer they wait, the heavier it gets. Meanwhile, the 1% have learned a different rule. Start before you're ready. Do something so small your brain can't say no. Want to get fit? Don't start with an hour at the gym. Start by putting your shoes on and walking around the block. Want to learn? Read 1 page, not a chapter. One page want to write? Type one true sentence. That's it. Because action is momentum. And momentum is the antidote to fear. The 1% also build systems instead of relying on willpower. They design their environment to make good habits easier than bad ones. Shoes by the bed, water on the desk, notebook open on the counter. When you make starting easy, consistency becomes automatic. And then they do one more thing, something most people never consider. They reward the start, not the finish. Noah gave himself a tiny victory every time he began. A cup of coffee, a favorite song, 2 minutes of peace. That's how the brain learns. This feels good. Let's do it again. Over time, 2 minutes became 10. 10 became an hour became a life. That's how progress actually looks. Not a leap, but a quiet rhythm that builds power over time. Part 4. The drop that shapes the stone. There's an old saying, water doesn't cut through rock because it's strong, but because it's consistent. Success works the same way. The storm makes noise, but it's the stream that shapes the land. The people you admire, authors, athletes, leaders, they aren't different species. They just show up. Every day. Not in huge bursts, but in steady drops. The truth is, consistency beats intensity every time. Because motivation fades, passion burns out. But discipline, built through small wins, endures. And the best part? Discipline isn't harsh. It's not a punishment. It's self-respect in action. It's the quiet promise you make and keep with yourself. Every small choice whispers, I'm becoming the kind of person who does. Part 5. The lesson you'll remember. If you've been waiting for the perfect moment to start, this is it. Not next week, not next Monday, not when you feel ready. Right now. Just open the door. For 2 minutes. Write one line. Stretch for 2 minutes. Organize one corner of your desk. Whatever it is, begin, no matter how small. And when your mind whispers, this isn't enough, remind it, every empire begins with one brick. Every story begins with one sentence. Every change begins with one small start. The difference between the 99% who dream and the 1% who succeed is not talent, luck, or timing. It's that the 1% simply start again and again until the small becomes unstoppable. So if you remember one thing from this story, let it be this. Don't wait for motivation to strike. It's the spark. Build discipline. It's the fire that stays lit. Because at the end of the day, success doesn't belong to those who want it most. It belongs to those who begin, even when it's only for 2 minutes.